Welcome to the Open Garage podcast brought to you by Lanai. Lanai is an edge-based AI observability platform that gives enterprises full visibility into every AI workflow across teams, tools, risk levels, so they can govern AI safely, eliminate waste, and yes, drumroll, prove real ROI. Every month, we have a conversation with experts that we're meeting who are making decisions for their enterprise about systems, tools, processes to win in the AI era. I am so excited to introduce Fred Laury. Fred is the Chief Information Officer at Xero. He was the Chief Digital Officer at Tab, and before that, Head of Technology and Cybersecurity at Air New Zealand. Originally from Lyon, he moved to New Zealand 20 years ago. So tell me, what brought you to New Zealand and why will you never look back?
Alexi, and hi everyone. Thanks for having me on the podcast. I come from France, as you said, and I'm a rugby head. So in my mid-20s, I just wanted to travel. So I got a 1-year working holiday visa, bought a one-way ticket to New Zealand, traveled around New Zealand for a few months, found my first job there in 2004. So I've been here 21 years now and never looked back.
What is CIO at Xero, and what are some of the major sort of responsibility areas and budget authority, for example?
Now, what I'm responsible for is I lead a team of about 150 people. We own our go-to-market platform, which is our internal system and platform servicing enterprise platform, which is finance, people, collaboration and productivity, and enterprise architecture.
What don't you own from a technology perspective?
What I do not own is our product. So Xero is an accounting software platform. That product, in terms of design, engineering, and infrastructure, is owned by our product and tech organization, which is a separate function. So my customers are 4,500 people. The customers of the product and tech function are Xero's customers.
Fred, I don't know if you agree with this, but I don't feel like AI was a term that was used much at all, or certainly not a board level term until January 2023, when ChatGPT hit 100 million users.
I am responsible for what we call internal AI, or AI for Xeros, which is how we are equipping our people with the right AI tooling to enable them to do their job, whatever that is. If I go back 2 or 3 years ago, AI wasn't even a thing. And now that's pretty much all we talk about or care about.
Where have you seen the biggest impact on your internal Xeros?
I think this is the question that a lot of people are grappling with, is how do you convert adoption or usage into business impact? It's fairly easy to measure adoption. Like, you've got telemetry from a lot of systems. So, I can say that 80% of our people are using Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever. What is much harder is to quantify the return on investment or the business impact. So we've been quite deliberate in terms of the workflows and the use cases that we are targeting and measuring.
Who would you say is the owner of Xero's AI strategy?
AI is a key business priority for Xero. Right? So this is one of our top business OKRs, and we report on AI adoption and impact, on a monthly basis. Now, the way we've done that is we split the ownership of strategy between product and tech. So there's no single owner for AI strategy. There are two different owners for whether that's you're talking about embedding AI features for customer purpose, or whether you're talking about equipping internal staff with AI tooling for productivity purpose.
When employees want to use something new at Xero, what's the process, or how do they say, I want to use something?
Software governance is something that we're still struggling with. Marketing is a good example, where a few months ago, they wanted to try different tools for content generation. And I think they wanted to try 10 or 12 tools. We allowed them to try these tools. And then at the end of the process, they selected 2 or 3 tools. At that point, we put the 2 or 3 tools they had selected through the process. So you need to find the best balance between allowing people to innovate, try it, and experiment.
Do you have some governor principles for budgeting AI tooling in general?
Yes, we do have a central budget. So in my budget, I've got a bit of a, let's call it a buffer. We're about to roll out in the next 2 months quite a large enterprise, like AI enterprise tool. So we've managed to find savings in my budget through the use of AI that I can repurpose to pay for another tool. The worst thing I could do is be too dogmatic that people can't try new things. Now, my job is to articulate the trade-offs and find the savings through different ways, but providing the people with the tool they need to do their job, because they're not going to use a tool they don't like.
It's 3 years out. What's different about Xero as a result of AI, but not the vision, like the reality?
The main one for me is actually the efficiency one, which is the revenue per FTE or revenue per head. If I fast forward 3 year time, this is, I think, how we will define the success of the program we're running, which is how much more efficient our Xeros are with their time.
Fred, is there anything that I did not ask you that you think the CIOs might benefit from hearing?
Yes, and probably something that we haven't mentioned is around the upskilling and the education. 2 or 3 weeks ago, we did ask 4,500 people to down tools for a day and learn. We've seen an increase in engagement with our AI tooling, greater adoption. So the more you use it, the more useful it gets. The better you are at prompting, the more hours you will save. And it's like it's a flywheel. Hardest is to start it, but once you're on it, it's a joyful ride.
Okay, hot seat. What skill from your first job do you still use today?
I'm an engineer by trade, so the ability to deep dive, troubleshoot, and diagnose is something that I still use today. I'm able to go really deep.
What is a hill you would die on that most people in your role wouldn't?
I will trust my guts sometime more than I trust the data in front of me.
Best decision you made that really looked stupid at the time?
Mid-20s, packing up and moving to a small island at the bottom of the earth. Looking back, it was best decision I've made in my life. So I'd say moving to another country.
Okay, song you're embarrassed to admit that you love?
Oh, this one is not a song, but I don't mind listening to Celine Dion sometime. Don't say it too loud.
Fred, I knew I loved you. Advice that you give to people but don't follow?
Yeah, so this same thing, that's quite a tricky question, and it's probably the one that I spend most of the time on. I think an advice that I give, which I don't follow, is dismiss imposter syndrome. Quite often people will come to me and say, like, am I good enough? And I say, yeah, don't worry, just don't listen to that voice. You are good enough. But the bottom line is there will always be time in your career or anyone's career that you will have doubt. And am I good enough to do the job? Am I the right person? And very early in my career, I would dismiss that voice. But actually nowadays, I listen to that voice because it's that fear that allows me to carry on. Like the day where I feel comfortable in my job and I feel like I've got nothing left to learn, and it's probably the day where my performance will go down. I'll have to leave, right? So one of my business mentors said to me one day, sometime or the one who pretends they don't have imposter syndrome, they are either a liar or a psychopath. One of the best advice I've ever received from a business mentor. Don't shy away from your fear and from imposter syndrome. Everyone's got it at one stage, and there's no shame expressing it and saying, look, I'm really struggling, I need some help. And for me, as far as I'm concerned, that's something that keeps me going.
Amazing, Fred. What a great way to end it. I think everybody listening now knows why. Of many CIOs I've met, and I've met some great ones, Fred, I really enjoy talking to you. Your insights on business, on personal, and that last one especially, I just think is so valuable, especially now when exactly you're either a liar or a narcissist. You should feel a little scared every day and a little like, why the heck do I get to do this? But that's also what makes it interesting. So thank you for coming on Open Garage. Thank you for giving us such great feedback on Lanai, and to everybody listening, over and out. Stay curious.
Thanks, Lacey.